The COVID-19 pandemic had a massive impact on the transfer market, with some of the biggest clubs in the world, like Barcelona, not being able to recover financially since then. However, even after COVID, a lot of top transfers were made, so let's look at the best transfers from 2018 to 2024. I chose 2018 to start because it's the first year after Neymar's record-breaking transfer. Even though Ronaldo shocked the world in 2018 when he decided to leave Real Madrid to join Juventus, I don't think he was the biggest transfer of that transfer window. That's because everybody knew who Ronaldo is, and in that summer, a wonderkin was sold for $180 million to PSG. Yes, it was Kylian Mbappe. After only one full season with Monaco, PSG noticed how talented he is, and they paid a huge amount of money to have him in the team. Of course, Al-Khalifi didn't want to spend the money without knowing if the kid could handle the pressure at PSG, and at first loaned him. In 27 games, he had 20 contributions at only 19 years old. And that's the moment when PSG pulled the trigger and bought Kylian for a record-breaking fee for a teenager. And the rest is history, as he's now the face of PSG, and it seems like he'll play there forever. 2019 was a year when a lot of youngsters moved to big clubs, like Frenkie from Ajax to Barcelona, Bruno from Sporting to Manchester United, or Leao from Lille to AC Milan. However, in my opinion, the biggest transfer made in 2019 is Rodri from Atletico to City. There were lots of people questioning the move, as Rodri played only 3 professional seasons before, but Pep Guardiola knew what he was doing. Even since his first season in England, he became a regular starter, something that's very difficult to accomplish in any Guardiola's team. Fast forward 4 years later, he scored the winner in the UCL final and was included in the 2023 Team of the Year. He's that kind of guy who just wants to do what's best for the team, and I respect that. 2020 was the year that affected us all. The effects of COVID were also felt in the world of football, with clubs no longer being so open to their wallets. But even in these hard times, transfers were made with important fees. Osimhen has progressed quickly in less than 2 years, from being a reserve at Wolfsburg to being one of the best strikers in France. Because his numbers were so good and he was only 21 at the time, Napoli wanted to sign him ASAP. They spent $75 million for him, an amount that seemed a little exaggerated, but which turned out to be very justified. Last season, he scored over 30 goals and helped Napoli win the Serie A for the first time since 1990. So yeah, he was a pretty good transfer. In 2021, the transfer market started to become a little crazier because, being the first full year since the pandemic broke out, the clubs began to understand how much money they can spend without representing a danger. Players like Camavinga or Hakimi moved to better clubs for important fees, and Grealish and Lukaku moved to City, respectively, Chelsea, for more than $100 million. However, the transfer that left everybody speechless was Cristiano Ronaldo to Manchester United. Fabrizio Romano, the iconic Italian journalist, even said that this was the most important "here we go" he said in his entire career. For only 17 million euros, United got one of the best players in football history. However, even though in his first season he was their top goal scorer by far and helped the team massively in UCL and Prem with game-winning goals, his trip to Old Trafford was cut short. After some altercations with Erik ten Hag and an interview at Piers Morgan, he was kicked out of the club like he was an academy player. However, I'm not here to talk about his time at Man United, so yeah, this was the most important transfer from 2021. In 2022, a young striker capable of following Ronaldo's footsteps decided to leave Dortmund to join City. Everybody on the planet knew the name Erling Haaland ever since his amazing debut with Dortmund, when he scored a hat-trick in the space of 20 minutes after coming from the bench. At 19 years old in one of the best leagues in the world. There were speculations that he was as good as transferred at Man United, as he was so appreciated by Ralf Rangnick, but he decided to join their rivals. That's probably because his father's career was cut short because of a horror tackle by Roy Keane. So far, this move looks like a very good one for him, as in his first season he broke so many records. Even though he proved to everyone how good he is, there are still some people that disrespect him. If you want to find out more about this, check out the last video posted on the channel. Back to the transfer. What's crazy is that City got him for only 60 million euros, which is a bargain. This has to be the best transfer in Man City's history. Last calendar year was full with world-class players leaving their world-class teams, but one of them really stood out. Jude Bellingham left Dortmund after only 3 seasons and joined arguably the best club in the world right now. There were many people who wondered if he would be able to cope with the pressure from Madrid, and oh boy, he did. Maybe because he was teammate with Haaland, the Norwegian taught him how to shoot unstoppably at the goal, because in his first 10 games he scored more goals than Ronaldo in his debut season. Right now, he sits at 14 goals and 3 assists in 18 games, being surpassed only by Dovbyk. But the fact that he's all these numbers whilst being a box-to-box midfielder really blows my mind. Even though the year 2024 has just started, there were some interesting transfers during the winter period that I would like to talk about. Vitor Roque finally joined Barcelona's squad and looks like he really helps the team. Even though his first 3 games were poor, he still brought a positive energy on the pitch, and only bad luck stopped him from scoring a goal. In the game against Osasuna, after only 70 seconds from the moment he was subbed in, he scored the winning goal. It's his time to shine as Barcelona has massive injury problems and Lewandowski isn't playing at his usual level. Another interesting player that joined a top club is the Romanian Radu Dragusin. He is the example of professionalism. Even though he was sold by Juventus, he kept his head down and kept working hard. In this season, he was by far the best defender in Serie A, and that's why clubs like Tottenham and Bayern really wanted to sign him. After he agreed a contract with Spurs, Bayern called his agent with a way bigger offer, but Radu said that he already told the club from London he would join them and he didn't want to break his word. That's class! Tell me in the comments, who do you think is the best transfer of the last 7 years, and until next time, I wish you a wonderful day.